While many were outraged by the administration policy that separated families at the border, others said it's a small price to pay for border security, and they took that message to President Donald Trump today. Pat Poblete in our Washington bureau was at the White House for that meeting and brings us the story.
They call themselves angel families, people with family members who have been killed by undocumented immigrants. And today at the White House, they gathered to hold up pictures of their deceased loved ones and to tell their stories. Among those sharing their stories with President Trump was Phoenix resident Marianne Mendoza.
My son, Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, was killed on May 12, 2014, on his way home from work by a 3-time legal limit drunk who was also high on meth. He had drove over 35 miles the wrong way on 4 different freeways in Phoenix before slamming head-on into my son's car.
Mendoza was joined on stage by 13 other parents with similar heart-wrenching stories. Among them was Steve Ronabach, whose son Grant was killed by an undocumented immigrant during a robbery of a Valley Quick Trip. Ronabach contrasted his loss with the separation that immigrant families have faced at the border under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy.
This is permanent separation. For his birthday, I go to his grave. For Christmas, we set up a Christmas tree on Grant's grave.
They urged President Trump to crack down on border crossers, and they found a ready audience in the president. He used the event to repeat his demands for tighter border security, which he accuses his political opponents of opposing to the detriment of the country.
These are the stories that Democrats and people that are weak on immigration, they don't want to discuss, they don't want to hear, they don't want to see, they don't want to talk about. They don't talk about the death and destruction caused by people that shouldn't be here.
Today's meeting caps a busy week for border issues here in Washington. While the president reversed his decision on family separation, he held fast on zero-tolerance enforcement. Meanwhile, in Congress, efforts to pass immigration reform have stalled. In Washington, Pat Poblete, Cronkite News.